Know that part of that is also rooting for his relationship with his other wives. And to be honest,
welcome back to GlowGossips USA, the channel where truth, betrayal, and drama collide. If you thought season 19 of Sister Wives was intense, season 20 has already ripped the mask off in ways nobody could have predicted. Tonight, we unravel the first episode. And let me warn you, this wasn't just reality TV, this was a brutal, unfiltered collision of secrets, accusations, and confessions that left the Brown family shattered. The episode opened not with calm, but with chaos. Another email had arrived, some mysterious woman writing to get to know the family in hopes of joining them. It felt absurd, almost laughable, considering the Browns were already crumbling from within. And then came the bombshell. Kody Brown, red-faced and defiant, declaring that Coyote Pass would not be sold until he decided the terms were perfectly fair. His voice was sharp, filled with arrogance and finality. "This is a standoff," he warned, "and I'm not budging." Right from the start, TLC made one thing clear. This would not be a season of healing. It would be a season of war. From there, the storm only grew darker. A montage of past seasons replayed like haunting memories. Robyn desperately clinging to her place as Kody's favorite. Meri trapped in an endless limbo. Janelle drifting further into isolation. And Christine's bold, unapologetic departure. A chilling voiceover reminded viewers that the family we once knew had already fractured, setting the stage for a premiere built not on reconciliation, but on destruction. And then the eruption. The camera panned to Kody seated inside his grand Flagstaff home, Robyn by his side, his face contorted with rage. His outburst was venomous. "I gave my entire life to these women, and in the end, they betrayed me." His tirade was less about truth and more about paranoia, a desperate man rewriting history to cast himself as the victim. Robyn sat silently beside him, twisting her hands, her eyes darting away from his fury. That silence spoke louder than words. Fans online immediately caught it. For the first time, even Robyn didn't look convinced. But the night's first shockwave came from Janelle. For years, she was the voice of reason, calm, measured, avoiding conflict. But in season 20's explosive opening, Janelle finally snapped. In her confessional, she didn't just disagree with Kody. She dismantled his narrative entirely. "Kody didn't get left behind, he left us. He abandoned this family for Robyn long before Christine walked away." Her words were raw, direct, and unflinching. Later, during a tense family gathering, when Kody tried to guilt the wives into admitting they had destroyed the family, Janelle's voice cut through the room like a blade. "You destroyed it, Kody. Not Christine. Not Meri, not me, you." The room froze. Robyn's mouth fell open. Even Kody, usually quick to shout down criticism, sat stunned, as though Janelle's words had finally cornered him. Social media erupted within minutes, calling it Janelle's most iconic moment in the history of the show. Yet if Janelle was the fire, Robyn became the earthquake. Away from Kody in her private confessional, she broke down. Her mascara streaked as she admitted a truth fans had whispered about for years. "I never wanted this. I never wanted to be his only wife. I wanted a family. I wanted sister wives. Now I feel trapped, alone, and hated for something I never asked for." For the first time in more than a decade, viewers saw Robyn as human, broken, and drowning under the very role she supposedly won. Reddit threads exploded with sympathy, a word never before paired with Robyn Brown. One viral comment read, "She's not the victor. She's a prisoner." But TLC wasn't done yet. The spotlight shifted to Meri, the wife who had always been treated as an afterthought. In her own confessional, she revealed that she had already been preparing for life without Kody. Quietly, strategically, she had begun moving money into her own accounts, browsing properties outside Flagstaff, and even exploring a permanent return to Utah. Her voice trembled, but it carried power. "Kody doesn't want me. He hasn't for years. And I am done waiting for him to change. I've already started building my life without him, piece by piece." Viewers were floored. For the first time in over a decade, Meri wasn't clinging to hope. She was walking away on her own terms. Fans immediately dubbed this her Meri 2.0 moment, cheering her on as the woman who had finally found the courage to cut ties. Then came the climax. Christine Brown, free, fearless, and unshakable. In a tense sit-down, Kody pointed at her, his voice rising, blaming her for humiliating him on national television. But Christine didn't flinch. Her reply was icy, deliberate, unforgettable. "Kody, you embarrassed yourself. Don't rewrite history. Don't blame me for your failures. I don't fear you anymore." The atmosphere turned electric. Janelle smirked, Meri's silence spoke volumes, and Robyn's face crumbled into heartbreak. Online, fans crowned Christine's clapback as the line of the season, proof that she wasn't just free, she was stronger than ever. TLC pulled out all the stops for what they billed as the family gathering that would change everything, and it did not disappoint. For the first time since Christine's departure, all the key players, Kody, Robyn, Janelle, Christine, and Meri, were forced into the same room. The atmosphere was suffocating. The tension was so thick you could almost hear it crackle. Fans had been bracing for fireworks, but what unfolded was far beyond awkward conversation. It was an emotional explosion that tore the family apart in front of millions. The confrontation began almost immediately. Kody, his voice sharp with bitterness, launched an attack on Christine. "You've been conspiring against me with Janelle and Meri for years. Don't deny it. You're jealous. You want my marriage to Robyn destroyed." His palms slammed against the table, each strike echoing like a gavel in a courtroom. Christine's eyes rolled in exasperation. Janelle let out a scornful laugh, and Meri muttered under her breath, "This is ridiculous." But that single whispered word sent Kody spiraling. He turned his fury on Meri, jabbing his finger in her direction. "Don't you play innocent? You've been against me longer than anyone." From there, the discussion devolved into chaos. Christine and Janelle took turns dismantling Kody's years of favoritism and neglect, their voices rising over his desperate tirades. Robyn, trembling and desperate, tried to calm the storm. "Please, can't we just talk? Just breathe for a moment." But her words were drowned out by the shouting. The cameras captured everything: the rage, the bitterness, the broken bonds. Viewers immediately dubbed it the family meeting from hell. It was ugly, it was raw, and it was riveting. The kind of scene reality TV was made for. Kody's paranoia only escalated. He accused his wives not just of betrayal, but of orchestrating a coup. He ranted about secret meetings designed to make him look like a monster on camera, about Christine allegedly teaching their children to disrespect him, about being set up to fail by the very women who once vowed loyalty. His words didn't sound like reasoned arguments, they sounded like delusion. "This was a coup. You wanted the world to see me as the villain," he shouted, pacing like a man unraveling. Fans watching at home could barely believe what they were seeing. In the midst of this chaos, Robyn delivered a shocking emotional collapse. She broke down in front of everyone, sobbing uncontrollably. "I don't want this to be the end. I joined this family for sisterhood. I believed in plural marriage. Now all I see are ashes." For years, Robyn had been portrayed as Kody's unshakable defender, the confident, favorite wife. But in this moment, her composure shattered. Some fans pitied her raw grief, while others accused her of using tears as a shield for Kody's behavior. Regardless, her desperation was undeniable. This was a woman clinging to the ruins of a dream already dead. And then came the most unforgettable blow of all. Christine, calm but fierce, stood up and faced Kody directly. Her voice didn't shake. Her words didn't stumble. They cut straight through the chaos like a razor. "Kody, you were never betrayed. You abandoned us first. Stop calling it treachery when it was your neglect that left us broken. You failed us, not the other way around." The room froze. Silence suffocated the air. Meri lowered her eyes, tears streaming silently down her face. Janelle gave a small but firm nod of agreement. Robyn gasped, stunned into stillness. Kody trembled with rage, his mouth opening to fire back, and then black screen. To be continued. TLC's cliffhanger struck like a lightning bolt. Fans erupted online. Christine's single line was hailed as one of the most iconic clapbacks in reality TV history. Twitter crowned her the hero of the season. Hashtags like Christine won, Kody failed, and Sister Wives End went viral within minutes. TikTok creators, YouTubers, and fan pages declared what many had suspected. This wasn't just the breakdown of a family, it was the death of the show's entire premise. "This isn't Sister Wives anymore," one viral comment read. "It's just Kody and Robyn clinging to a ghost." The mainstream media quickly joined in. Outlets like People, US Weekly, and Entertainment Tonight blasted Kody as paranoid, unhinged, and manipulative, even calling him the reality TV villain of the year. Christine, on the other hand, was celebrated as the breakout star of the season. Opinion pieces praised her courage and clarity, calling her the one who gave the audience what they had been screaming for all along: the unvarnished truth. Even Meri, often criticized for staying too long, earned new respect for finally stepping toward independence. For the first time ever, Christine, Janelle, and Meri were recognized together not as victims of Kody's leadership, but as survivors of it. By the end of episode 1, the reality was undeniable. The Brown family wasn't just fractured, it was obliterated. What viewers once knew as a plural marriage had now split into 4 separate storylines. Christine thriving and standing tall against Kody's attacks, Janelle breaking free and finding her voice, Meri quietly carving her escape, and Robyn trapped in a nightmare she once thought was a dream. And at the center of it all, Kody, raging, paranoid, and watching his empire of control collapse around him. Meri Brown, after years of silent waiting and endless rejection, is finally preparing to leave on her own terms. No more begging, no more hoping. She is quietly laying the foundation for her independence, building her future piece by piece. Robyn, meanwhile, finds herself trapped. Emotional, exhausted, and carrying the crushing burden of being the last wife left standing, she is no longer the triumphant favorite, but the reluctant survivor of a crumbling empire. At the center of it all is Kody Brown, furious, suspicious, and unraveling under the weight of his own paranoia. Fans have never witnessed this dynamic before, and the shocking truth is clear. The entire Sister Wives formula is teetering on the edge of collapse. One line from Kody echoed through the episode like a death sentence. "Maybe I don't want them if they don't want me." It was meant to sound defiant, but instead it landed as a grim farewell to the family unit he once bragged about building. Off-camera, insiders claim his rants went even further. Allegedly, Kody has talked about starting over entirely, building a new family that would finally give him the respect he believes he deserves. Sources close to production say he has even been in contact with outsiders who share his extreme views on patriarchal leadership. These whispers raise chilling questions. Is Kody planning to replace his wives altogether? Is TLC hiding just how dangerous his delusions have become? Behind-the-scenes rumors only make the story darker. Crew members leak that TLC deliberately cut entire segments, including one explosive scene from episode 2, where Kody accused a wife of secretly working with producers to sabotage him. The network, according to insiders, is actively editing out Kody's most volatile meltdowns to avoid lawsuits and protect the brand. But the truth has a way of escaping, and it's already spreading among fans. Speculation is mounting that TLC is preparing to phase Kody out of his own show altogether, shifting the spotlight onto the wives, the children, or even a brand new spin-off that ditches Kody and Robyn's toxic storyline. And then the financial controversies began to surface. Though Kody has spent years blaming his wives for overspending, multiple accounts now suggest it's actually he who mismanaged the money. Reports claim that tens of thousands of dollars mysteriously vanished from joint funds, with Robyn's side of the family implicated as the likely culprits. If these rumors are true, the fallout won't just be emotional. It could trigger lawsuits, legal battles, and even criminal investigations. TLC is working overtime to bury this narrative, but fans are relentless. They want answers, and every missing dollar becomes another clue in the puzzle of the Browns' collapse. Episode 2 left viewers shaken, staring at a family in ruins. Will Janelle finally walk away completely? Will Christine land her own spin-off and rise as the true star of the series? Will Meri quietly disappear into her own new life? Or will she erupt with a revelation that shatters what little remains of the Brown family name? And the biggest question of all, will Kody abandon plural marriage forever, clinging only to Robyn, or perhaps seeking someone else entirely to rebuild his crumbling dream? This wasn't just television. Episode 2 was history. What once stood as the Brown family's example of modern plural marriage had now collapsed into rubble. Fans have seen fights before, but never like this. This wasn't ordinary drama. This was destruction, broadcast live. The missing footage, the whispers of lawsuits, the potential spin-offs, all of it suggests that what TLC chose not to show may be even darker, even more explosive than what aired. And looming over everything was Robyn's storyline. Once seen as the confident favorite, she is now painted as a broken figure, drowning under the consequences of Kody's obsession. Before joining the family, she was a divorced mother of 3. She married Kody in 2010, stepping into a family already decades in the making. And from that moment, everything began to fracture. Kody's blatant favoritism toward her, a wife 10 years younger than the rest, was the poison that rotted the core of the family. Christine finally had enough during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Kody's favoritism toward Robyn became unbearable, and she divorced him in 2021. One by one, Janelle and Meri followed until only Robyn remained. Now, some argue Robyn is being set up for a redemption arc. The editing in season 20 has subtly shifted, giving her a softer light. She cries, she pleads, she insists she wants to rebuild the family and reconnect Kody with his children. For the first time in years, she is portrayed less as a villain and more as a tragic figure. A woman begging for unity while trapped in a marriage that isolated her from everyone else. Still, fans aren't buying it. They argue that Robyn's tears always appear when her own position is threatened, not when others suffer. The damage to her reputation is too deep. Even if TLC rewrites her edit, the audience may never forgive her. As the season stretches forward, the future of Sister Wives grows uncertain. Producers may pivot away from the toxic duo of Kody and Robyn and toward the women who have emerged as true survivors: Christine, Janelle, and Meri. Many fans have even called for a spin-off centered on Janelle's resilience, especially as she copes with the heartbreaking loss of her son Garrison. In recent interviews, she has shown immense strength and grace, honoring his memory while slowly piecing herself back together without a partner by her side. Her story resonates in ways Kody's paranoia never could. Meanwhile, Kody flaunts his monogamous devotion to Robyn, parading matching rings and showcasing their bond. His once boasted plural empire has crumbled into a single marriage that looks more like obsession than love. Years ago, he promised to multiply his affection across 4 women. Now he has pushed 3 of them away until only 1 remains. To many fans, it feels less like a love story and more like a cautionary tale. The truth is clear. The Browns are no longer the family they once were. Episode 2 didn't just reveal cracks in the foundation. It showed the House of Sister Wives collapsing entirely. And whether TLC chooses to spin this into another season or pivot into spin-offs, one fact is undeniable: heartbreak sells. And this season, heartbreak is all the Browns have left to give. Kody Brown spent years insisting that plural marriage was his divine calling. Yet as the dust settles in season 20, it has become painfully clear. What he really craved all along was a conventional marriage. He may never have admitted it, not even to himself, but the pattern is undeniable. The result? A fractured empire. 3 broken spiritual unions. And 1 monogamous marriage with Robyn that looks far less like triumph and far more like defeat. But here's the tragic irony. Even now, with everything he claimed to want, Kody doesn't look happy. The big house, the flashy cars, the matching rings, the public devotion to Robyn, none of it fills the void. He still rages, still points fingers, still clings to grudges. He carries the weight of 3 marriages gone up in flames and children who no longer trust him. And instead of reflection, he chooses blame. He lashes out at Christine, at Janelle, at Meri, even at his older kids. His narrative is simple. They destroyed the family while he is the victim. But viewers can see the truth written across his face. This isn't martyrdom. It's collapse. Meanwhile, Robyn, long painted as the untouchable favorite, finally shatters under the pressure. In one of the most gut-wrenching sequences of the season, she bursts into tears, her lip trembling as she whispers, "I never asked for this. I never wanted to be the queen. I just wanted sisterhood." The wives don't buy it. Christine leans forward, her voice like a knife. "Robyn, you didn't need to ask. You let it happen. You let him crown you while we were pushed aside." The tension is unbearable. Flashbacks roll across the screen. Kody rushing to defend Robyn. Kody spending holidays with her children while ignoring the others. Kody building his world around her while the rest faded into shadows. The contrast is damning. Then the children's voices cut in, raw and unfiltered. One of Janelle's sons, his voice breaking, says, "We stopped inviting Dad because he never showed. Unless Robyn's kids were there, he wouldn't come." Another child adds, "Sometimes it feels like I don't even have a dad." The camera lingers on Kody's face as the words sink in. He shakes his head violently, denying it, shouting, "That's not true! I was there for you!" Christine doesn't flinch. She stares him down and replies coldly, "Name the last time, Kody. Tell us. When did you show up for our kids?" His silence is louder than his rage. The spiral continues when Christine drops the bombshell. She's moved on. Calm, steady, and unashamed, she declares, "I'm dating someone else now. I've found peace. I've found joy. And I don't need your approval." The camera cuts to Kody's face, jaw locked, eyes blazing. He erupts, spitting words about dishonor and betrayal. "You've humiliated me. You've humiliated this family." But Christine doesn't waver. Her answer is devastating. "I stopped being yours the moment you chose Robyn over everyone else. That's when you lost me. Robyn's face crumples. Through sobs, she mutters, "I'm being punished for loving him." But the other women don't comfort her. Christine rolls her eyes. Janelle looks away. And then in the most haunting moment, Meri finally speaks. Her voice is flat, steady, almost ghostly. "Robyn, none of us are victims. Not you, not me. Not anymore. I stayed, hoping he'd see me again. Hoping he'd fight for me. But he never did. I was holding on to nothing, to air." For longtime fans, Meri's confession is like watching a ghost admit it knows it's dead. Her resignation is heartbreaking, but it's also final. She is no longer waiting. She is no longer hoping. She is already gone. As the wives confront him, the children condemn him, and Robyn collapses beside him, Kody breaks. He slams his chest, shouting, "I gave my life for this family. You all turned on me. You wanted me gone." His voice cracks, his face red, his body trembling. But then Christine delivers the fatal blow. "No, Kody, you didn't give your life for this family. You gave it all to Robyn, and we're done pretending otherwise." The silence that follows is unbearable. Kody slumps into his chair, eyes glazed, looking less like a patriarch and more like a man defeated. Robyn strokes his arm, sobbing, whispering words no one can hear. Across from them, Christine sits tall, unflinching. Janelle whispers, "This is the end." Meri stares at the floor, her silence heavy with finality. The children's voices echo in the background, not hopeful, not forgiving, just tired. "We don't want reconciliation anymore." And then, as if to drive the point home, the producers cut to the cliffhanger tease. Slow, dramatic shots of each family member staring into the distance, broken, unrecognizable. The narrator's voice warns, the fallout has only begun. Viewers are left breathless, staring at the wreckage of a family that once promised unity, love, and faith, and now offers only bitterness, silence, and ashes. This isn't just drama, this is devastation. Season 20's premiere doesn't just fracture the Browns, it buries them. And as the credits roll, one truth hangs in the air. The Brown family is no more. The Brown family is no more.